The last area here in regards to lifestyle that we've going to talk about is how is your body developing in regards to strength and conditioning, and ultimately being physically the best player you can be. We talk a lot of, obviously already about skills and mindset, and they're all critical components. But hey, doesn't matter if you got the best shot in town, you know, shooting stroke in town, and you've got the best positive mindset every time you walk out there, but the player comes up to you and he bumps you a little bit and you fall on your ass. So it's also, again, you talked, I think, earlier tonight about LeBron and Shaq and how obviously fortunate they are to be those sort of physical sort of people that they are. And not everyone's built that way. So sometimes, often, if you're going to take your game to the next level, we're going to have to put in a bit more work. And, starting at, say, like an under 10s level, that might be things like doing things around the house, like push-ups, sit-ups, squats, planks, stuff like that. None of this stuff involves any sort of additional equipment. As you get older, obviously, then you're talking about gym equipment, dumbbells, barbells, and getting maybe a bench press and little things like that. Hell, if you can't, afford that or don't have those sort of resources, there's many other things you can do, like pick up bricks and stones and things like that. I'm sure we've seen those YouTube guys and the TikTok guys that have sort of built their own gyms in creative ways where they can get a workout with water bottles, like, those huge water gallons, like 10 kilo sort of weights that they're just, doing reps with and stuff like that. End of the day, there's no excuses on why you can't continue to build your body and strengthen your body and condition your body if you are wanting to become an elite basketball player. And it is a critical area of the game that you'll need to work on, constantly to be able to maintain that sort of strength and stamina that you'll need to perform every single game.
Well, obviously with gyms, being a teenager specifically, it's a little bit tricky for you to get into every gym. Some gyms don't enable it, so that's one hurdle. But as you're alluding to, home workouts, things like push-ups, sit-ups, calf raises, squats.
Long list, yeah.
I think long list of home workouts that you can do with your body, and that's without having to do anything extra. That's one thing. The second is cardio. That's a part of fitness, right? So it's probably the one area that you can, well, no, not can, you should be able to do, because we talked a little bit earlier about jump shots getting weaker as the game progresses. Well, naturally, maybe you are a good shooter, but you're not a good shooter when you're fatigued. You could practice shooting while you're tired, or you could just develop your cardiovascular strength and get better at that. Obviously, as well, with the gym and fitness, this is not necessarily about making you better in game. You might notice some details there where you don't get pushed around as much, or you feel a bit quicker, or feel a bit stronger, or even feel a bit springier. It's actually just injury prevention, right? It's a way of you knowing that I am taking care of my body so that if something happens, my body can react to it appropriately. Because there's a lot of things that can happen in a basketball game where your muscles don't do their job and you get hurt. And then I guess the other thing that I'd mention with this as well, it's again a healthy habit. So let's say you don't end up becoming a professional sports person, but you do understand the discipline that's involved in taking care of your body outside of sport. Maybe you stop playing basketball altogether, but you keep that as the habit. There's just benefits along the way that aren't even, related to being a professional athlete. So gym and fitness cannot be overstated. Really, again, something else that high schools potentially do. I know that in my high school, we did have a gym on campus. So that was something that, we could access, we could get information on. And again, YouTube is now littered with things for home workouts, even for gyms. Sorry, distracted.
I think that one last point I want to add, you talked about cardio and stamina, obviously, absolutely, 100%. Being able to run and perform in that sort of way, the whole game is critical. But I want to sort of really share here that I really think it's important to consider what sort of activities you put into to help you build that area. So I'm going to not recommend things like running on the treadmill, running around the block. I swear parents say that a lot, go run around the block and things like that, because these are all things like high impact sort of, options to build cardio and fitness and stamina. Really consider things more like jumping on a stationary bike even swimming. Hey, if you like swimming, swimming's great. I think for the overall body, you know, to just really build muscles and sort of just get that stamina increase. Because at the end of the day, and you know this firsthand, Nick, the mileage obviously in your lower body is a big area of management as a basketball player. And if you're putting in mileage on your body, in all aspects of your body, while training, at the end of the day, at some point, you know, it doesn't really, your body, you know, says it's had enough. And I think so. Therefore, the methods that you obviously go away and put in this extra work in the gym and working on strength and cardio and fitness is also important. And you know, like we said, there's plenty of great resources there. You know, talking to a personal trainer at the gym, or even those guys that work at the gym, talking to your coach, probably they got probably some pathway they can offer you there, and obviously online, hundreds, no doubt, thousands of YouTube videos that will show you exactly what you can do and how you can break it down, and finding sort of what sort of goals you're trying to achieve ultimately in your game through, I guess, physical training.